Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MaudeWorld. You get the Black Book of Secrets in the opening shot this time. Welcome to the final episode of our pilot one-shot. Whoop whoop, the exciting finale.
One way or the other.
One way or the other. Awaits us.
Gonna getcha.
You have no idea.
Oh,
Oh dear.
Yes, please check out the links to our various crowdfunds. Various crowdfunds? There's only one. Check out the links to our crowdfunds and various social media below. We've got a very short amount of time left on our crowdfund at this point, so any donations you can help get us over that line would be greatly appreciated. However, were you just posing, or were you about to say something?
That was over your thing. Just any donations.
Ah, yes. Mugging the camera. Andy Murray's specialty. And also Andy Murray's specialty.
We went through a whole episode without that joke.
Yeah, I know. It was a terrible
bad
mistake.
episode.
yeah.
Terrible mistake.
D&D. This is why I come to escape this.
So, the question is, what happened in that D&D session that was so very terrible as a result of the lapse of that joke? So, you guys have made your way, having been hired by a half-elf called Adris to go to some Lumerian ruins and recover a magical gem.
I have no idea what that was. Sorry.
Yeah, to recover a magical gem and to recover a friend of his called Lumasi, who you discovered recently was alive. Lumasi explained to you all that this castle was once a great... it was home to a Lumerian lord and his various servants and staff and people who lived in the castle. Due to a great siege from an unknown enemy long ago, the lord attempted to try and save himself and save this castle from destruction by utilizing unknown magics. Unfortunately, these magics have sent this castle into a state of flux, and it's now its own demiplane, and the Lumerians are all long dead and are mere spectres, mere ghosts of their former selves. And Lumasi desperately wants to end this for the sakes of his friends, who are some ghosts like Captain Suwan, who have helped him in his 100 years that he's been here. You made your way upstairs of this to this castle to retrieve half of the key you need to get into the throne room, as well as Lumasi's many notes that he made when he chose to stay behind here 100 years ago. You encountered a Morchentus, a servant of Gavan, the Gravekeeper, one of the 12, the pantheon of gods that are worshipped widely throughout the world, including in Daemar. The Morchentus tested you and found you worthy to continue despite being involved in this undead business and him being suspicious of you all, some more than others.
What he said.
Sorry, them being suspicious of you all. Morchentus is gender neutral. I keep saying that. So, you made your way to a tower that was filled with lots of gravity, filled with a complete lack of gravity, really. And through the efforts of the herb kite, you managed to retrieve the book and half of the key with most of the liquid still in your body.
It's like that, the underdog balloon in the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Sure, let's go with that. That's definitely a perfect analogy. You made your way back after also having experienced on your way to this tower some visions of this siege, apparently, of just Lumerian elves being torn apart by fire and unknown enemies. As the demiplane appears to be continually collapsing around you. You then made your way out into these gardens. Night had suddenly fallen when it was midday previously, and you were all lined up outside this castle looking on at these dead, petrified grounds as a beautiful looking elven figure floating above you, some sort of ghost, dressed in very fine regal gear, has turned to look at you all. And that is where we will pick up. So, this elven-looking individual is looking at you all.
Massey.
Esther steps up to her. Good evening. I'm
What-
Esther.
What language are you speaking?
Elvish.
Elvish. Esther, can you go ahead and make an intelligence check for me, please?
While she's doing that, I whisper to Lunas. Lassie, just want a friend of yours.
Lunasi just says, we'll get to that. What do you?
10.
Okay, good to know. Lunasi just whispers back. This is the Queen. It's the King of the Moving Clouds. It's his Queen. She's dangerous. Show respect. I don't think she understands the common tongue. And
Gotcha.
he just like as you step up, he just says, "Your Majesty" in Elvish and bows very deeply.
I ready
Follow
myself.
suit
I
with the
copy,
bow,
yeah.
Okay, so intelligence of 10. Okay, so she turns to you and she begins to speak. And what who are you? You can understand some of this, but she's speaking in a dialect that is vaguely Elvish, but it's not one you fully understand.
Is this Elvish?
That is like very, very old Elvish.
Okay. Yeah. Esther turns back to her and in the best oldie Elvish she can.
You wouldn't. Well, no, yeah, no,
Give it a
go ahead.
I'm
go
just
ahead.
going to stick a lot of ye's in there.
These and thous.
Put an E on the end of every noun, now and then. I say, we are visitors to your beautiful land. We come to pay our respects.
She draws herself up, looks at you, looks around at all of you, and looks down on you. And she sort of, again, and now in actual Elvish, she turns to you and goes, "You speak the peasant's tongue."
I have not had the privilege to be taught the higher one. My apologies.
Well, we are not all born with such privilege. You come to pay respects to our lands. What are your names?
I am Esther Ashbourne. This is Herb. This is
Incidentally, only Rags, you're the only one that understands this. Lumasi is like trying to, as best he can, talk out of the corner of his mouth to translate, but
You may call this one Rags, Your Highness. Just keep looking down.
how very appropriate.
Zing.
Yeah. Got him.
I don't know.
Your
what else
names,
happened.
tell her your names.
Oh, Yona.
Mackenzie, at your service.
Herb.
Your companions do not even speak the peasant tongue, they speak this gibberish.
No, they are not privileged to know it. We are trying to educate them. It is why we bring them to such beauteous lands.
See that you do.
Would you have taught me any Elvish? When I was asking you earlier, even one word.
Well, that was like 6 hours ago.
Maybe like the word for hello.
As I
I'm
recall,
gonna
actually,
give it
you
a
spent
whack.
10
I'm gonna
minutes
try-
and then said I couldn't speak it to you because it's a whole phrase.
Okay. I was just gonna give it a whack and see if I could say something that I.
Make a charisma check.
Oh, dear.
Charisma.
Charisma.
What'd you call me?
Unnatural 20.
Modded 20, okay.
I give
Very
her,
charismatic.
give her a cheeky wink as well.
You were doing so well, and then
She looks down at you, noticing this young human woman. Looks down and goes,
What the fuck did you say?
Your pet is so very quaint.
What the fuck did you say?
So very quaint, she said hello.
Alright. Good job.
Mostly.
Oh. What the fuck else did you say?
We thank you earnestly for your sincerest patience in speaking with us. We are most honoured. We wonder if we might have an opportunity to explore these beauteous gardens. The more I may explain to my companions why they should seek to better their education.
Make a persuasion check.
There's an awful lot of words there.
Dickensian!
What?
Who's this?
She's the Elfin Queen.
I haven't rolled anything.
The Queen of the Tootin' Barrels! I very much liked your second album. It was far superior to your lazy and derivative first album.
Dickensian slams his hand over your...
As soon as I realised where you were going at.
Yeah. What did you roll, Esther?
That's a 7
I
plus
like how you
0.
don't stop.
A 7 plus 0. Okay. So as you're saying this, she sort of... Her eyes widen, but then she is distracted by...
With the music video.
So,
Just shut up.
she just...
killed.
she just looks down at you as you're muttering and mumbling and Drake, you've got your hand over her mouth and just kind of
If she looks at me, I bow my head.
Yeah.
I'm very focused.
and
like trying to bow and silence him.
she looks at you. The monkey dances. Yes, dance more, dance more.
Do a dance. Show her your great dance.
I'd
moves.
like to do a dance, please.
Make
A dance check.
make a dance check. I will say make a performance check, but make it a dexterity. So use your dexterity rather than your charisma.
15.
15. So you just
So
kind of
really
sort of
old school sort of, great dad dance sort of.
yeah.
The proper.
That's quite
God, I
Beyonce.
haven't seen this one since my 10th birthday.
And the smoke sort of flaps a little bit. So you get like a little bit of cheek. Just like,
Well, a little bit of diaper anyway.
Oh, how delightful! It is so hard to get good jesters in this place. It has been so long since I've laughed so. Oh.
Herb do good?
Yes.
Do very good.
Really?
I'll explain later. You bore me. Leave my presence. Go where you will. I cannot.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, your Majesty.
I say hello again in Elvish. Or whatever I said.
Well,
Esther starts to walk away, leading her and explaining in
Yeah.
Elvish, although she knows he can't hear. And look at these wonderful flowers and beautiful plants that our superior hosts have managed to cultivate. That's the
Herb just
Yeah,
takes
Lum-
a hand and follows like a small child, just like looking around.
alright, is this what we're doing now?
Yeah. Lumasi just follows you all and goes, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking.
Was she the one that you were telling us about?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like Frank, and he's very carefully making sure that he's out of earshot as you sort of wend your way over towards the other side. As she's just kind of you see this queen individual is just now looking at she's sort of looking at the fountain, and just sort of laughing randomly to herself at things that don't
She
seem to
doesn't
be
seem
there.
all there.
No, well, like I said, memories fade and personality, soon enough everything fades until you're left with, well, what you fought outside the front gates.
Is she gonna be a problem when we come to her husband?
she spends a lot of time here. I really couldn't say, quite frankly. She's utterly insane. I can't predict anything she's going to do.
Fair enough.
What is the worst thing she's done that you know
I couldn't say. She, based on what I've been able to discern, she's a banshee.
Right.
So,
That's pretty bad.
don't make her angry, because if she screams, then you might not live to, well, it might kill you. Suffice it to say, I think that we've distracted her enough for now. Let's keep moving, because I have no idea what she's going to do. Keep moving.
We'll lead the way. We don't know where we're going.
Yeah.
I've not been here in some time. I obviously don't like to come here if I can avoid it.
Sorry, Lumasa, was that the powerful undead that you told us about earlier?
Yes.
Okay, well,
Seems to have
I
got
feel,
off.
I feel slightly more confident. Yes, let's carry on.
Trust me, I think we were very lucky that she happened to be in a good mood.
I don't doubt it. But hey ho, we take the wins where we can get them. It's part of our motto as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's our other motto.
and
We have more than one.
I think we should all have a big hand, a quiet hand for our wonderful Herb and his performance. Yay.
Yes, that was the thing. She was laughing and saying, "Dance, monkey, dance. Let the monkey."
Oh,
dance.
she called the monkey. Let's go.
Not you, Herb, not you, not you.
Jump on
Me?
her. No.
What did she call me?
I'll tell you later.
So what you're telling me is that it wasn't good.
It wasn't nice. No. It wasn't terrible. Let's just carry on.
Come on, you little bastard.
Let's keep scuttling this way.
What does it look like?
Sorry?
What does it look like? Is it like lots of petrified flowers and trees? What are we in at the
So
moment?
it's
a garden,
it's,
yeah?
it's if the plants were alive,
Mhm.
it would look like a very well maintained garden. You know, sort of Regent's Park style. I.e., like, you know, there's the paths are all paved with gravel. You know, very well maintained. You know, straight lines. Everything. You know, flower beds all the same size. You know, blah blah blah. Everything very symmetrical. But it's just, there's nothing living here. Like any stonework, like, you know, there are crumbled bits of stone from the flower beds in the middle of the path. The fountain that you saw the queen was sitting by is totally broken. Yeah, just like everything is either petrified or dead. But you continue down the path, down the garden path, and Lumasi leading the way, and he's like, "Now where was it? Here we are." And he points, leads you towards sort of the back wall of the garden, and you can see where the grass suddenly stops. There are a set of stairs, like parallel to the wall, leading downwards. You come to these to the top of these stairs that lead down. The stairs are very narrow, so it would only be enough for single file. But Lumasi stands at the top of the stairs, turns to you and goes, "So, I think he was an alchemist once, based on what I've been able to discern down here. He's some sort of alchemist, lived down here, used his lab down here. It's a very small little room, so it shouldn't be very hard to search. But I have not been here in a while, so I'm not sure what's down here, frankly."
Right, are we looking for the other part of the key or something? Is that why we're here?
Yes.
Or the gem. No, the gem.
The
king
gem
was
is around the king, yeah. We're going to kill him.
Mm.
That crazy bitch's husband. That one.
Should we check for traps?
Nah.
Yes, Grandad, we should.
It might be wise.
No, it might be intelligent.
Oh.
Boom! So, it's that voice again. So, he says, yes, might be wise. Who wants to go first?
How dark is it down there?
Dark. There's
Well,
no-
I can't see, and neither can he.
Me
or
neither.
you. Should it be one of you fellas?
Can see very well in the dark.
Well, then off you go.
After you.
I think that's a volunteer.
Right, I suppose so. I will. Yeah, I'll use my staff and like my foot to check for traps on the the stair below as I kind of.
Okay,
continue.
make an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, that's not terrible. 21.
21.
So that's pretty good.
That's better than I've ever done with my rogue. So.
So, Rags, you lead the way down. What's the marching order here, out of interest?
I'll go second.
You can see, can't you? In the
I can
dark.
hold on.
I'm
to
okay.
that.
Well,
No,
you're
two-
human as well.
Two
I'm a
humans, two halflings.
Fuck me. So you're the only one who can see. I will go
Well,
third.
I
then.
can.
Just grab
Oh yeah.
I'll go.
How far does the darkness descend? Because I have 120-foot dark vision.
You can see the bottom. It's
Cool.
it's about 80 foot down, I'd say.
Cool. Yeah.
Third, then the
I'll
monk,
let
then the.
everyone know.
Yeah.
As we go in,
It
I
seems to
touch
turn
Drake
around
and I
to the right.
cast resistance on you.
I
So you have an extra d4 for any saving throw you make in the next minute.
Sweet. I feel like I'm going to resist.
Favoritism.
Well, yeah.
Again with the favoritism. So,
So I guess 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I didn't want a bow, so I'm happy to go to the back like this.
Four,
let's keep
five.
Lamasi.
Lamassi goes as 4.
Yeah, let's keep
Massey
it in the
goes
middle.
as 4.
Then Herb is 5, Drake is 6. Okay,
Sounds all right.
so, Rags, you take your staff and you start just
Yeah.
testing each step as you walk slowly down, and you all slowly start following. You know, you're getting a bit impatient at this, but you recognise it's necessary. Like you just hate being behind slow walking people.
Yep.
Yeah.
True
So-
story.
Well, it's either that or you can go down the stairs first.
I
You can't see.
can't see
Don't say
anything.
that, she'll take it up.
I would do that.
If you can
I
see.
would. I mean, I can see. I just can't see in the dark.
We're in the dark.
So I can't. Okay, fine.
That was why
So-
you went first.
Tink, step.
I like the idea
Step.
of having this discussion
Tink.
in the
Step.
dark. As you
Uh,
I can see you in the dark.
This continues down for a like you taking it slow. It takes you about a good sort of 30-40 seconds to get down. You keep and you realise now that the staircase is going into a spiral. You continue down. Clink, step, clink, step, clink, and then you sort of flinch a bit, but then you realise it's just the stone work crumbling away.
It's fine, so long as it's
Step.
only caving in on
Clink,
us.
step, clink, step. This continues on for I'd say about 2 minutes or so, 2.5 minutes, and eventually you can start and like those without dark vision are kind of sort of hands in front of the hands on the shoulder of the person in front.
Brandon, why are you wet?
No!
I'm excited.
It's not how that works.
It's perspiration. You weirdos.
Yeah, we're the weirdos. Eventually, you make your way down to the bottom of the spiral staircase, and sort of on the second to last turn around, you see a flicker of torchlight coming from around the corner. You make your way down to the bottom of the steps, and you see what is in fact a long, stretching corridor, which is lit by torches, which are burning perfectly fine. At the end of the corridor, which I'd say is about 50 feet in length, you can see a closed door.
Those torches, can we tell if they're normal torches that there's been
Yeah,
a
I was gonna
person
say,
relighting,
can I
or are
put
they
my
ever
hand
burning?
towards the flame? Is it warm?
Yes.
These are different to all of the mysterious visions we had earlier on. This is real fire.
Is there somebody down here lighting these?
Marcy takes a look and goes, "No, these are ever burning torches.
Huh.
They will burn forever until someone dispels the magic."
Good.
Damn.
Handy.
We should get us some
Very
of those.
useful. Yeah, yeah. I actually managed to find a scroll to that effect. When I can get back to the real world and have to get some ink, it'll be useful to have.
I would have thought.
No, never speculate about the future. Now we know you're going to die. It's
what?
a thing. Do you not know the thing?
Are you
Are
saying
you
about
threatening
tempted
us?
fate?
Never mind. You'll be fine.
Don't worry, she said that to me a load of times, and I'm not dead yet.
Ha ha! That's a funny joke.
Ha ha. Ha
It's lol.
ha. Ha.
Shall we carry on?
Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
How
must be so
how are they
terrified.
melted?
Yeah.
Would it be easy enough to take one out of, or is it like kind of attached?
They're mounted in metal brackets.
The whole
The
If you want to try and remove one,
yes.
make
The
a strength
constant
check.
throwing mortality in people's faces.
Oh yeah.
Should I break
22.
gently?
Yeah, 22
So
is
they'll
it
get
enough.
in-
Clunk! You
Just ease them in.
so you sort of like push past Rags and sort of grab the nearest torch off the bracket.
The stairs head into a slide.
Whee!
I meant to do it.
No,
I
you're at the
You're at the bottom. I'm at the back.
You're at the bottom of the stairs. So
You can see. Just put my ear to the door.
the door is at the
Oh, that's far,
way
isn't it?
way
That's
other
very
end of the
far,
corridor.
yeah,
It's like
no.
50 feet away.
50 feet away.
Do you want to check this floor? Because you did a really good job with the stairs.
Sure. Start checking for traps.
Okay.
That was passive.
Helps.
That's it.
Definitely faster.
Yeah.
Helps.
Such a good dumb.
Yes.
But he's
So
touched every single stone.
If I find a trap, I'm not going to tell you about it. Or
So-
tell everyone else.
you all start
Rude.
walking forward.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you all start walking forward in the same single file formation. Rags kind of like, excuse me, and clink clink. Rags with Esther. If you wanted to assist Rags, you'd have to move up. I'd say you'd have to be behind him.
Okay.
Yeah. The non-dark vision people now can see fine, by the way. So like Esther, you like, excuse me, and you kind of squeeze in, and you start checking. So Rags, make an investigation check with advantage, please.
I will take that 12 because that is the better number.
That is how
that is
advantage
the
works.
rules work. I'm proficient as well, so if we're doing 17, is that how maths works? Yeah.
12 plus 5.
Yes.
Yes. How maths works with MaudeWorld. So,
Next week on the show, how Maud works.
With
That's
that's an even more infinite mystery. So, 17 was your investigation.
Yes.
Yes. So, continue testing the floor. Rags, what is your passive perception, please?
11.
11. Okay.
Mine is 13, if that helps, because I'm next to him.
So,
No.
no, it doesn't. So you continue moving forward, like testing the floor. The floor seems to be pretty fine.
Somewhere else that isn't.
Oh yeah, no, the floor's perfectly fine. But you very specifically were testing the floor. And what's opposite the floor? The wall.
Wait.
The ceiling.
Wait.
Depending on the angle. So, Rags.
What if it's a cute?
Or up.
Rags falls.
In fact, Rags and Esther.
You were close enough to be the part of the problem and not the solution.
Oh dear. So I rolled 18.5 and then 17.4. So I'm assuming that 21 and 22 respectively hit your ACs.
Yeah.
So
I'm on it.
You're also there.
So you're walking forward, testing the floor, and then suddenly you feel you get hit in the head from above as you feel this slimy. This incredibly
I'm excited.
slimy appendage sort of scrape across the back of your neck. You both take You both take 5 points of bludgeoning damage and 5 points of acid damage.
And this is why I stay behind him.
But you look up and it's not Herb. Instead, you see these
You'd know if it
two
was Herb.
these two gelatinous yellow-looking masses of ooze that just like have just lashed out at you and drop on the floor in front of you. Ladies and gentlemen, roll initiative.
Oh dear.
Roll.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Is the corridor sort of single file in the sense of width?
Not actually, no. It's I misinterpreted that. It's basically 10 by 10 by 50. So it's 10-foot ceilings, 10-foot wide, 50-foot long.
Okay,
So you
can
can
go
stand two abreast.
You can stand two abreast, yes.
Two
So
abreast, that's the best.
It's not party time today.
it's always
You'll
party,
know when it's party.
it's always party time with you, Sarah. So and you, Sarah.
I'm not sure what that means.
You're not meant to. So 25 to 20.
You're not
Yes,
sad.
21.
21. 20 to 15.
Yes! 18.
18.
18.
Ooh. What are your respective dexes, please?
0.
+2.
+2. So in the event of ties, I just go by whoever has the highest dex to break ties for initiative. So.
I need to do my spells.
15 to 10.
14.
14. 16.
Wait.
15 to 10. 16! Wait. Maths.
Oh, baby, baby.
I'm still trying to wipe my hands. That's wet
So,
on my back.
you just hear this this pain shout from up front as you from Rags and Esther as you see these two yellow-looking oozes drop from the ceiling. Herb, you're up first, and Yona, you're on deck.
Get your blobby hands off of them. Corporeal beings only, please. I swing my quarterstaff and try and swat it.
Okay, what's your attack roll?
It is 26.
27. Yeah, no. Definitely, that will definitely hit this.
Okay, motherfucker. 9 damage.
9 damage.
And again.
And again.
That is 27.
27. Yes.
And that is 10
10
damage.
damage. You are rolling well, sir.
Now Herb is going to spend a key point
Yeah, what?
to do a blurry of foes.
A blurry of foes.
So I can do 2 of your unarmed strikes.
Yep, go ahead.
12.
12 does hit.
I
Hooray!
can't miss these guys.
6 damage.
6 damage.
And I think, because I have open hand technique, if I hit with a flurry of blows, I can do something else, right?
Yeah.
So, it needs to succeed on a dex save, or else be knocked prone, if that's possible.
Unfortunately, these creatures can't be knocked prone
Would I
because
know
they
that?
Push it.
Can I choose something else now I know that it wouldn't be, or is it trying to knock it?
make an intelligence check.
20 unnatural.
You would know that, yeah.
Push it 15
You would just
Okay.
like looking at this creature. You can tell, like, yeah, no, this creature doesn't have limbs. It was and it was stuck to the ceiling.
Can I try and push it 15 feet? Just punch it 15 feet. So it needs to succeed a strength save to be pushed 15 feet away. What does it need to succeed against?
Your 8 plus your proficiency plus your dexterity, I believe, or is it plus wisdom?
I'll say dexterity for the moment for the sake of having to look it up.
16.
16. No. It fails. So
Bye.
bye, Brian. So you watch as Herb just runs up to this this yellow mass of goo and just like whack whack. Again,
He hits
moving
it as if he has a newspaper.
yeah, moving much faster than you're used to him seeing. He's always fast when action comes around, and then just punches it forward, and the ooze actually sort of like tumble. If it had a head, it would be sort of doing a backwards roly-poly, and it just comes to a splat 15 feet further down the corridor. because you made physical contact with it, Herb, I will say you do take 3 points of acid damage from just like shaking your hand off of this
Is
goo.
the other one nearby?
Yes, they're both
Can
next
I
to each other.
use my other attack to punch that? Kick
Yes,
it?
you can. Yes,
If I kick it with my shoes on, will that still?
we'll see.
I'll try. I'll attempt.
Yeah,
From after being hurt, like, ow, that hurt my hand. I'm gonna kick it.
sure thing.
11.
11 to hit.
Yes.
Yes, that hits.
That is 7 damage.
7 damage to the other one.
And I'll also try and kick it 15 feet. So that's a strength save again.
You can do that twice, can you?
I don't know. I've just written if you hit with a flurry of blows.
I think
Oh,
you
yeah,
meant it.
no.
I think the idea is normally you
Fuck
do
it,
it against
like,
one
again,
target,
for
but
the sake of
maybe,
brevity, I'll rule you can this once,
normally it's
but
one target.
this is
Yeah.
no, that fails. It too just goes flying backwards away from the rest of them.
And stay out.
Anything else, Herb?
No.
Okay, Yuna, you're up.
I'm gonna go up to the one that hasn't been hit as much.
Okay. You can sort of like you spend a little bit of movement to try and make your way in between everybody, but that's easy
Yeah,
enough
because
for
Val
you.
just rams with her legs.
Yeah.
And yeah, gonna give them some more action.
More action.
Some Maud action
Oh,
next week on MaudeWorld.
Yeah.
no, that's maths.
14.
The week after.
14 hits.
It's bored.
It's biology.
It's all Maud.
All Maud,
all
all the
Maud,
time.
all the time.
11.
11 points of damage.
Yeah.
With your maul, you said.
Wait.
Can't not hear Maud.
How do you think I feel?
I'm gonna attack him again.
Your
Him.
hit.
It's the same. 14.
14 hits.
11 again.
11 points of damage.
Solid consistentness. I mean, consistency.
Just like you sort of like bash it, and it's almost sort of bouncing off as it is sort of like forming a circle, and then it's like boom, boom, and it's sort of like closing and resealing itself.
So it's
But,
quite satisfying to hear. I feel like it'd be
A
quite
little bit,
satisfying.
yeah, a little bit, sure.
Quite pleasing.
Yeah.
What's going on up there? It sounds funny.
It's
Join
kind of
in,
like
it's fun.
fighting jelly.
Okay, so Rags, you are up, and Esther, you're on deck.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna have actually make a decision about what spell I'm gonna cast. Okay.
It's always helpful.
It is. Yeah. The one that Yona is not up against.
Yep.
I'm gonna cast Fireball. Just.
Firebolt,
Just,
sure.
Yep. Staple Fireball. Ooh, that's not great. 13.
13 hits. These things are not very fast. They're not hard to hit.
I bet this will make a pleasing sound.
8 points of damage.
What did you hit it with?
Fireball.
There's like the fireball flies forward into this gelatinous creature, and it kind of just like explodes inside of it, and like again it's sending sort of drops and splatters all over the
What
walls.
does it smell like?
What does it smell like? It's not pleasant. It kind of smells like rot, like rotted, like death and decay, like really
But gelatinous.
like really overly sweet smell of
Like
of
a
rot.
fire at a Madame Tussauds.
Oh.
Yes.
I mean, that's visually nightmarish.
It's also a
Places.
specific example. Like
We-
my fire.
like-
Sauce.
MaudeWorld would just like to say that we do not comment on ongoing criminal investigations. So,
But
But I am looking to raise money for bail, so there's another Indiegogo down below.
so Rags, you back off, sort of like accidentally bumping into Lumasi, but sorry, but as he's sort of like beginning to conjure a spell, that's it's now their turn, or its turn, the ooze's turn. So, given that they were both punched back 15 feet, and given that they're both next to you, Yona, they're gonna go for you. So
Give me that ooze.
that's a 14 versus AC.
Sorry, no.
And that's a 15 versus AC.
Oh, that makes...
So you're just about able to dodge out of the way of one, but unfortunately you then dodge into the way of the other one. So you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage and 4 points of acid damage as this this sort of pseudopod flies out towards you and sort of whacks you straight in the sternum, and you just feel a slight burning sensation as it goes through. But that's their turn. Esther, you're up, and Drake, you're on deck.
Cool. I have completely forgotten the excellent plan that I had.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. My God.
Kill it.
What was it?
With fire.
Kill it dead.
I cast Spiritual Weapon,
Okay.
which is I'm gonna hold my holy symbol, and it's gonna be a big creepy scythe.
Big creepy scythe. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and make an attack roll with your spiritual weapon.
Very well. It's 1d8, I believe.
For damage, yes, but make an attack roll with your spiritual
You
weapon.
are exactly right. Thank you very much.
Cocky.
Totally unfounded.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
We are in trouble.
That's 12.
12 does hit. These things are not very hard to hit.
Partially founded. Oh, okay. That's 8 damage.
8 damage. So you watch as this
I can
jump.
add anything to that.
No.
No, it's just as a spiritual weapon. But you see Esther conjure this massive, this enormous scythe that almost takes up all of the corridor, and just it comes down and like pierces the gelatinous substance right down to the floor, doing 8. How much? 8 damage. You said. Yeah. Okay. It's not looking good. Anything else?
I just want to hop back. Am I within melee range of either of the jellies?
No, they're 15 foot back down the corridor.
Then I would just like to take a little hop back, so I'm at least 10 foot away from the closest.
That's that's easy enough to do. Okay. Drake, you're up.
Cool. I'll walk, so I'm not going to shoot any of my friends, and then I will shoot the
All
most
of our friends.
dissolved looking one. Whichever's broken up.
Hard to tell. Fairly even.
Then the one on the right, as we know, I'm not a fan of the right.
God damn it!
Smash fascism.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so. Go ahead and roll your damage.
How mad would you be if I exploded it?
You don't know that. What are you doing?
Just do it.
It would be a lot of damage though. Why would I know? Okay, do you have any healing left? That's the only question.
Quick.
Then yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it, I'll do it. Cool. So they're going to take a lot of damage. Everything.
Metagaming bastard.
So.
Not sure.
It takes, first of all, 12 damage.
12 damage, okay.
And then everything, including it, within 5 feet.
Are you
Takes,
doing exploding arrow?
Within 10 feet. Yeah, he's doing
Yeah.
exploding arrow.
within 10 feet, right, yeah.
Oh dear.
That's fine.
This is not wise. That's gonna hurt.
After all that, it's only 11 damage.
Okay.
46
So,
not 11.
11 points of force damage to everything in 5 feet.
Yeah.
So, Drake, take your victory.
I just go, I'm sorry about the shoulder.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Just like, sorry about... No, you're not. And, you're sort of blasted back into the wall, and you feel just a crack against your back as you take 11 points of force damage. But these gelatinous creatures just... Pretty much, they explode. And the walls are just splattered, and including some of Yona, with just these tiny little drips of yellow goo that soon dissolve into nothingness.
And that was just with the one arrow.
Smells like a children's birthday party that's gone very wrong. Reminds me of my clowning days.
Just like a firebolt just flies out and hits the ceiling. As the master goes, "Ooh, I wasn't expecting that."
Well,
It's quite normal. It happens to everyone.
I'm sure. Anyway, shall we?
Oh, yeah,
What's that?
I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you
Help
mind?
me.
Yeah, go help him up there. I'm just gonna stay back here for a little bit.
Who is
It's a good thing I thought that was really fucking cool.
I'm
Right.
Like, if it had been cool,
bit
I'd have been like,
hurt,
what?
but I'm
Why?
dying
I'm a bit
need.
hurt, but I'm not massively.
I'm
How
full.
hurt are
question.
you, Yona?
Were they there before when you came here?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You don't know.
Who the
You're not
heck-
here
who the
before?
heck makes
I do-
fun
not
of
for a
What have you
long
been
time.
doing for the last 100 years?
Writing?
Leaving books about the place?
Look, I didn't realise that was going to happen.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just gonna.
But no, they weren't. They weren't there before.
Well, let's just go get the rest of this key and get the fuck out of here.
That
Shall
sounds
we-
about right.
Shall we rest and see what we can recover during that time, and then if we need additional healing?
The only thing that I would say against that is that it's now a lot darker,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how the fucking time thing works here.
So
Seems to be
Yeah.
I don't want to get
I
stuck in
don't
here for
wanna
100
do that.
years because he won't make it.
I've done it once, I'll do it
Yeah,
again!
I was going to say, I'm not sure. I feel like Herb's going to survive all of us.
Like a cockroach.
That's your old thing. The cockroach.
Back in his clowning
El
days.
cucaracha.
God damn it.
Right.
So what are you doing?
okay. I am.
Good face, Sarah.
I always keep
I've got a
good
great array of them.
Well, both of you.
I'm gonna cast. Which one's the best? Which one's the best to do? If we can wait 10 minutes, then I can heal us more. Or if we need to move on immediately, then I can heal us less.
Frankly, the Massey pipes up. I would recommend that we get what we came here to get and then head back to the courtyard. It's much safer there. The captain and the others should be able to keep watch for us whilst we rest.
Let's do that.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Onwards.
Right.
I'm going to stand at the back.
Do you say you listen at the door now?
Yes, I continue moving forwards and listen at the door if I can
Okay.
hear any sounds coming from within.
Make a perception check.
I go up to Yona and cast resistance on her.
Okay.
Thanks. For
So
1
D4,
minute.
isn't it?
Yeah, on a
On
saving
saving
throw.
throw?
Is that a cantrip?
Natural one?
Yeah.
Right, you go up and, like, you appear to be listening to some sort of door.
What do you hear?
Very woody.
Yes.
Woody sort of a
Um,
sound.
Very kind of, what is this? Oak, I think?
No, what do you hear from the other side?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, well, let's just go in. I can't open the door.
Okay. You open the door and you open it up into a small circular room. Not very large, like maybe 10 foot across total. And as you open the door, Drake and you step in, you see a single, very weathered, old-looking skeleton in dressed in rags. It's like just reaches out.
Gross.
Oh no.
How did it get up there?
That's reaching out towards you, moving very clunkily.
Wearing your
slowly.
skin like a suit.
Hello, fella. I'm going to shoot you if you don't say something.
Make an attack roll.
There we go. With a 24 hit.
Yeah. No. So yeah, it does hit. So it's just it just hits it in the sort of like square at the joint between the skull and the rib cage, and just
Ring.
and it collapses.
Like dry bones.
Yeah.
It's a very very old, very very like you see like the bones almost start decomposing the second they hit the floor, like just and bits of it starting to turn into dust.
Jeez Louise.
All over the
What the
walls.
fuck am I using?
So you look around, and the first thing you immediately notice is, the two of you in particular, is there is a phrase written on the walls. All over the walls. Repeatedly. Can you both make an intelligence check, please?
Oh, the
Is
phrase
this-
wasn't just
is
all
this
over the
Elvish?
wall. I was about to
I
tell
thought
her to
that,
calm
I think
down.
16.
13.
Right, you understand what this means.
You're also there.
You're also there. It's hey, she's better job than the three of you fuckers.
I'm focusing on the skeleton.
And it just says, why doesn't it work? like written, you know,
I
shining.
can relate to that.
Written like shining style, you know, literally sort of all over the walls.
Like scratched or in ink or in blood or what's it written in?
A mixture.
Oh dear.
Feces?
No.
Sure.
Some of
See,
it's
you've got to ask.
Does there seem to be like, I don't know, is there
don't
any
think you
like
do.
notebooks or
make an investigation check.
papers around here?
Yeah.
You, someone can assist with this if they
I
want.
would like to assist.
Cool. Ooh, it's cocked.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
That's really a shame.
It's also.
That's technically cocked.
Yeah.
That's not cocked. That's totally fine.
I mean,
Like you can balance a coin on it without it falling off, and that's the.
I'll let the DM.
That's not cocked.
Okay. That's good then. I'll take that. That's.
How convenient.
That is 23.
23. Yeah. No, you start looking around, and this place is dusty. In the center, there is like there's sort of like a work table, sort of like all that's like round the circumference of the room, and then a center like small cauldron crucible over what a tiny little fire pit, like long, just full of nothing, full of ash and long congealed and liquids and.
Feces?
You start. Again no. You start.
Just stop looking for it.
It's a skeleton. It doesn't have any
It
bowels.
smells like a kid's birthday party.
Does it look like the skeleton carved all this? Why doesn't it work?
So you. It's hard to say. Right, you look around, and it doesn't take you long to scan this place. It's a very small room. You find a large tome, which is filled with Lumerian Elvish
Does
writing.
any of it look similar to this very frantic writing?
It does, yes, and it's like you take a very quick glance through it, and from what you can very briefly gather, this looks to be the journal of some sort of alchemist. He talks of working for his lord, trying
Not
to
a
solve,
very good alchemist, I guess.
trying to solve the problems that were caused by this whole debacle, trying to fix his mistakes, like trying to, and then towards the end it just starts becoming, he talks of his experiments with oozes and his experiments with, more abyssal entities, and then it just talks of, and then it just descends into, my flesh melts, why doesn't it work, my flesh melts, why doesn't it work, and it just descends into gibberish. You are also able to find 3 very dusty vials, appear to be filled with some sort of liquid. You take
I think we know what I'm going to ask.
No, it isn't. You take the cork off and it's very strong acrid, which you recognise to be acid. So 3 vials of acid, and you also find in a drawer kept dustily another half silver circle with a red gem in it this time.
Cool. I
Shame.
kind of like show the half thing to the group. I've got this.
How's
And,
that?
as I guess we're all kind of just huddled in this dusty room, I tell Lumarcia, like, I think the pile of bones was your man, the alchemist.
I see.
And he certainly wrote all of this as well.
And then you killed him, you idiot.
Well,
He was gonna rip my face
I
off.
feel
Did
like
you
it
see
might-
what he was doing?
it might have been good reason. He was clearly messing with something he created.
See,
those
the raggy one
oozes,
gets it.
I think.
Yeah.
You're welcome to take a look yourself.
Did he melt his own flesh off?
Maybe he was trying to become more like the oozes. I don't
Right,
know.
well, we'll leave the mad guy to himself.
We've
like,
got what
gone
we
now.
need.
Yeah,
We've got the
let's
key. Other
let's
half
head
the
back,
key.
have a little rest, and then take on your mad flying king guy.
Sounds.
Although I don't feel great, so we're resting first, right?
But that was the plan,
You did say
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, good.
To the courtyard, and we'll rest with your man, the friendly ghost. Casper.
If the queen is still
Suan.
there.
That's what I said, Casper.
If the queen's still there, let's no one look her in the eye. Heads down. Let's keep moving.
She likes
I
me.
can't promise.
No, Gio, for don't you fucking... You will, you bastard.
So, for the sake of brevity, you wend your way back down the passage, avoiding the little patches of goo that are dissolving into the floor.
Wow.
You make your way back up the stairs, out into the gardens. and you wend your way past the queen, who is with your heads bowed, but she doesn't seem to pay you any mind. You make your way back into the entrance hall, and back out into the main courtyard, where it is day once again.
Did we miss it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When wasn't it midnight that we had to?
How long were we down there for, do we think?
Relative time, yeah.
Down there, I'd say total 20 minutes.
Lumacy, is that a spatial effect, or have we missed it?
We haven't missed it. Trust me, the captain and his companions very much want to be free of this as much as the rest of us do. He would not let us miss the opportunity. I think that this whole place is based on memories and perceptions. The garden, it's just because it is night there does not make it night here. It's very complicated to explain. I don't fully understand it myself.
Well, let's
but
not miss our chance. Let's go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should heal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you're hurt.
Yeah, we should.
I'm hurt also.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It was worth it. Like I said, if it wasn't really cool, I would have been really.
That's why I
angry.
thought you.
That's all I ask.
So, you make your way back into the courtyard, back to the guardhouse. Lumacy goes up to Suan, who they sort of offer each other a grip that doesn't quite obviously connect, but this seems to be a recurring thing with them.
You know, you look stupid when you do that, right?
Old habits die hard.
Ha ha ha. Get it? Die hard? Because they can't
Great
die?
movie. I saw
What's
it.
a movie?
It was like a play I saw at a tavern once. It was trippy, man.
Herb suddenly realizes he is not wearing shoes. So,
Granddad, were you always barefoot?
I don't know.
Everyone come in close and hold hands. I will say a prayer for our healing.
Okay.
Holding hands.
I
is
presume we've done this
totally
before.
not necessary.
I can imagine so. So,
You know, you don't have to jump up and down when we're doing this.
Just holding his feet off the ground. Really taking
Awesome. So I cast Prayer of Healing. It's 2d8 plus spellcasting mod. 7 plus 5. That's a number which is 12. Everyone gets 12. And we can include Lumacy if he wants healing.
Lumacy's fine.
Don't need no.
He has no need for you.
Damn fine.
I was actually full health, but I'll join the prayer circle.
So you spend the next 10 minutes just sort of relaxing with your eyes closed as Esther chants a familiar chant.
Is this technically a short rest? Like, can we spend our
Yeah.
own hit dice as well now if we wanted to?
Yeah, sure.
Oh crap, should
What?
have done that first.
D8
Short
do
rest,
I
you
have?
say? Excellent.
Andy, what kind of hit dice do I have?
As a monk, D8.
Yeah.
I just rolled 2 hit dice for myself and got the exact same roll I just got for.
People that are having a short rest, I'd like to just scan through the diary again for any more mentions of like abyssal creatures and stuff like that. Just because after the prayer, I'm feeling pretty good.
Sure.
I get my key back on a short rest.
You look through it. It's make an intelligence check.
60.
16. It's tricky for you to understand because obviously Lemurian Elvish, but you look through and there's references to oozes, there's references to summonings, creatures from the oozes from other planes, from the abyss, but nothing that you sort of really can properly comprehend, particularly not in this sort of short, relatively short time period.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Cool. No worries.
So, Lumacy, Suan, and several of his spectral subordinates following him come up to you all. Lumacy goes, Are we ready?
I think we are at that.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Very well. Captain, Suan walks up to you all and goes, right. Now, the master tells me you have the keys to the throne room. The king of the moving clouds, whatever he once was, is, well, let's just say that I'll be happy to get this done. I am so very tired. The king is powerful. You will be protected by bodyguards and several other retainers that will be both down below on the floor and in the galleries up above. My guards and I will do what we can to hold off the bulk of the main forces. If the 5 of you will engage the king and his guards. If you do that, and you're able to claim the gem which he keeps on his person, then, well, we should be able to win this. We will do what we can, but be fast. There are many of them, and I don't know how long we'll be able to hold them off. So do what you can. Are you prepared?
Yes, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's end this. And Suan barks some orders out in that Lumerian dialect once again, and they go marching forward.
I knock an arrow
Okay.
and follow.
Before
Yeah,
we go into
more
the door,
ready.
I cast resistance on Jurgen Drake.
I resist.
So you head back into the into the entrance hall, and you come up to the large, huge wooden door.
I'd like to draw back my bow, so as soon as the door opens, if I can see the king, I'm letting loose.
Okay, good to know.
Ditto crossbow.
Good to know.
Just because I don't know the size of the room.
So you walk up and you see the socketed hole in the door.
Take out my half.
Ooh. Question.
Yes.
Herb, we've had the other one.
Is my javelin
What?
still stuck in
Looks like
in
this.
the other door?
What does?
I would have assumed you'd
The,
pick.
the
Okay,
other
cool.
half of this, different colour. You found it
What?
when we flew you like a kite?
The green thing.
I don't know.
You put it in. I saw you put it in your robe.
Hang on. He pulls out various things. A boot. No. A half-eaten piece of bread. A strange, intricate painting of a woman. And, this. There.
Yes.
Where did this come from?
Half of it. Yes.
The room where you flew.
That's the long game right there.
He knew what this was.
Yeah. So you take out the 2 halves of the key. You put them in the door.
Yep.
Put them in. And you've sort of been giving the door, and then the doors
Hold my stuff
Opened by a frog.
open. Yes.
inside.
You can do sound effects next time.
Ribbit.
You're about to fight a boss, guys. Don't antagonize the DM. So
We're just nervous.
you.
Yes.
I'll give you something to be nervous about. The doors open and you see this long, stretching throne room. You see it's probably about 80 feet in length or so. There's a long carpet leading straight down the center towards the other end, up towards some steps and what looks to be a throne. You see dozens of these spectral entities. You don't see the king. You see dozens of these spectral entities floating around the entrance, sort of like wandering mindlessly.
Do they look like the maddened ones, or more of these?
They look to be like similar to the ones you fought at the start of all this. Their eyes, like noticing the doors open, turn toward you, and there is a sudden cacophony of screaming and rage, as which is countered almost at exactly the same point by by just sort of a wordless shout from Captain Suan. Ah! And him and his fellow warriors, the twins, the large woman you saw before, the shorter, small, lither-looking one, as well as several others, all begin to charge forward into this mass of spectres. Ladies and gentlemen, roll initiative.
Oh my goodness! It's about time.
Finally, a good initiative.
Oh no.
Okay, middle of the pack, which is frustrating.
You've not done worse than I have.
Mm.
Best initiative overall.
25 to 20.
22.
Nice.
I'm back on form, baby.
Yeah.
It's time to kill stuff.
20 to 15.
Yeah, 18.
18.
15.
15.
Oh, guys.
We're spellcasters, remind me.
Wait.
Sarah's waiting to say 16.
15 to 10.
13.
Sarah.
Oh. Oh no.
Esther?
Well, that would have been a natural 1 bumped up to a 3.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Oh dear.
We are in trouble.
Every time.
Making the same Harry Potter reference every time. You must be a Weasley. So, okay. Right, so this mass of spectral energies from both sides, the some dozen or so individuals from the captain, including the captain, charge forward into this mass. There are just claws and weapons and just blind flailing of limbs into this mass, but there is something resembling a formation. They have kind of formed a wedge that moves straight, that sort of is cutting a path straight through these spectres. You can see now there are arrows coming, flying down from up above as the captain charges forward with Lumasi on his heels, and the captain just turns around and yells, "Go! Go!" Drake, you're up first.
I go.
Where go?
I run into the room,
Okay.
keeping just behind my line of friendly ghosts.
Yep.
I'm looking for the big bad.
Okay.
So I scan the room. Do I see anything?
You do make a perception check.
No.
No.
5?
5. It's too much noise, too much sound, so much sight and sound that you can't tell at this point.
Cool. In which case, I'm going to shoot at the biggest guy I can see.
Make an attack roll.
14.
14. You know that hits you. Shooting into the spectres, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bad ones.
Yeah.
10.
10. Yep. An arrow just goes flying straight into the crowd.
24.
24 hits.
10 again.
10. Straight through. It's like you can see that these are going through again, similar to your experience before, but there are just so many of them. There's like outnumbered vastly.
Question.
Yes.
If there's a big horde of them
Yes.
and it goes through, does it technically hit the guy behind?
It's not how it works.
So cool.
It would have been so cool, but sadly no. Sadly no. Okay, that was Drake. Yona, you're up. Herb, you're on deck.
Cool, I'm just gonna run forward to the first one I can see.
Okay.
That hopefully no one else is hitting. That would be great.
Sure, you
Maul them.
you can sort of like running. You sort of almost run through the wedge,
Mhm.
almost that up towards the heading towards the throne, and you take a swing.
Cool. Oh yeah! There's a 24 hit.
24 hits.
Mm-hmm. 8.
Heading straight through it as these spectral creatures are just like flying around with, again, they're taken off guard by all this sudden sensory information.
I rolled my second attack and it's a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Yeah, buddy.
Woo woo!
Go Yona.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
We are in trouble.
No!
Stop it!
Oh,
Let's go.
What do you
oh,
mean?
it's gone.
Use my action.
No.
There you go.
What's that first one? It was a 3, wasn't it? So 4,
Yeah.
8, 11.
11. So this time, as you swing into one, and then just like
Are you raging?
No.
No. And then you just raise your maul over your head, and it just bisects. Somehow, even though it's a bludgeoning weapon, it bisects the spectre, whose form just dissipates before you. But that's just one of dozens that are in this room.
Cool.
So at this point, you hear a voice boom out. "What is this? Who dares intrude upon my throne room?" And you see a shadow rise up out of the throne, looking around him. It is a clearly male-looking, finely dressed individual, but whereas before the queen was white, this individual is grey and black like tar. And on his body, it is not just a normal sort of humanoid-looking body as some of the spectres are. There are tendrils flying out like so many wraps of cloth flying off him, all black and all, part of one singular shadowy entity, but just looks like it's got dozens and dozens of tiny little limbs flying off of the rest of its body. It rises up out of the throne. And it looks down at you all. "Intruders, destroy them." So, let's see. I need Yona. I need Drake. I need
For the resistance.
I need Herb. I need the three of you to make wisdom saving throws, please.
Is it against being frightened?
No.
Oh.
Not very well.
18.
18?
No.
You're not making
Eight.
it so, right?
No,
Eight.
it's
Okay, Herb.
Negative.
You hear these, similar to when you were floating up through the cylinder, you hear these whispers in your head that speak in the voice of the king. It doesn't make any sense to you, but you're able to shake it off.
It's the voices again, Drakensian.
I
They're
hear
telling
them
me
too,
to
man.
kill.
The two of you.
Oh.
The two of you both take 8 points of psychic damage, and
A long, hard think about your lives.
you turn and look at each other. You both see what is undoubtedly your enemy.
Oh.
Ah, shit.
Can I have you both make attack rolls, please?
Front roll.
16.
Oh. No, 10.
I might have to use mine.
One
Yours
of us
hits
hits.
me.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, Drakensian, you...
Because
you
I like you.
you sheath your bow, draw your rapier,
Oh, I
and...
know. Rapier, do I
The
do
only time that Yona doesn't hit her allies.
The problem is if I don't use my bow, it actually goes to 14 and I won't hit.
That's then you don't hit.
Cool.
So you draw your rapier and
Because I believe 15 is your AC, isn't it?
Yeah.
you both see each other. Undoubtedly your enemy, what individual you must destroy. You
Destroy
both
this.
and you both just strike at the same time and sort of almost go past each other. One of you goes right, the other goes left. You both go to your right is what I meant, and both of you just miss, and then what the?
Oh, not you.
Right, yeah, no,
That was me.
that fucks. Well, how tall are you?
Or do they snap out of it
5'9".
immediately?
5'9",
Yeah.
okay. I'm
Oh,
3
thank
foot.
God for that.
No, I think I'm 2.5.
What saving throw did you guys roll?
Wisdom.
I mean, like, what did you get though?
Oh, I got 9. That was with the +3 from
I
the
got
D4 you gave me.
5 or yeah.
8, I think. You got.
8.
Or 9.
It was low.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 9. Yeah.
Let's see. Yes, Herb, you're up, and Rags, you're on deck.
Herb marches as fast as possible towards the king and says, shouts at him, "Right, there you are. You must be the king of the spooning clowns. Now, I got concert tickets about 80 years ago and I want my money back. It was terrible. The service, you only played the old songs, none of the new stuff. It was awful. Where's my gold?"
Make an intimidation check.
4.
The king looks down at you and just says, "You dare speak to me with your monkey tongue?"
Alright, now you're talking.
Right.
And I swing a quarterstaff at him.
The throne room's like 50 feet long,
Oh.
and you would be able to get within sort of range of him, but go up to because your speed's like 35 feet, isn't it? So you sort of like just wend your way. You ignore Yona and Drakentian fighting. Just wend your way past, and like you're now sort of.
I want to
past
see the manager.
past the wedge, and you're standing here 15 feet away from the king. Having just made your complaint, he is thoroughly unimpressed. And at this point, two more figures emerge from out of the walls. Different slightly to the spectres that you've seen before. These individuals have spectral swords and shields and are wearing chainmail armor. Their eyes glow a deep red, and they are both advancing towards you as the king raises a finger and points at you both. So,
Can I attack, or is my intimidation, like shouting at them, my action?
that was your action,
Cool.
I would say.
Okay.
And you weren't in range of anything to attack, unfortunately. So, these individuals with their longswords raised charge forward at you. So, ha! They both rolled a 2. So, they just, go to swing, and they kind of end up doing that clashing thing where the swords end up just either side of you and you haven't even moved.
Customer service, thank you. Right, I bought the tickets about 90 years or so ago.
As you say this, their eyes, and they just scream, and like their shield arms kind of drop a bit, and they raise their swords at you once again.
Oh, God.
That's a bit better. Well, ish. One of them
For
rolled
who?
One of them rolled a 3. The other one rolled a total of 23. So
Yeah, no, I'll do it.
that one does hit. So you take 10 points of slashing damage as this second longsword slashes down and cuts across your chest. But these two individuals do now look far more open to attacks, having dropped their guard somewhat. So next up we have Rags with
Wonderful.
Esther on deck.
Wonderful. Okay, I, staying quite far back, would like to, if possible, DM, drop a 40-foot cube on top of, or just behind the king in such a way that maybe I can hit those two people that just ran forward.
What are you casting?
I'm casting slow.
Slow, okay.
Oh, good choice.
Okay, that's interesting. So,
With my intention of being at least 3 of the 6 targets being the king and
yeah,
the 2.
what are...
It's a 40-foot cube.
40-foot
I
cube.
have 120-foot range to pick
Yes,
where that 40-foot goes.
So, if you did that, you would get Herb in the cube as well, because you can't... I would rule that you
He's
can't pick
already
up...
pretty fucking
You can't
slow.
pick a
this
point...
would, like,
You can't
take
pick
down
a point
fight
in
big
a point of
time.
origin inside the wall.
Yeah.
So you would get Herb, but that's it. In addition, but you would get both the guards and the king.
Fuck him.
What are you doing, Rags?
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
So,
It's,
what's your DC?
15.
15, and
Wisdom
it's
saving
a
throw.
wisdom. So Herb, I need a wisdom saving throw, please.
Wish I had resistance right now.
Just a small thing, just to check the wording. You alter time around up to 6 creatures of your choice in a 40-foot cube within range.
Of your choice. So then, yes, you can choose to not.
I've got exactly 15.
So
Yeah,
you're
it's
just
fine.
passing
You don't have to make it anyway.
Okay, so the bodyguards fail, and the king succeeds.
Sounds about right.
Well, they have a -2 AC. -2 penalty to their AC. -2 to dexterity saving throws. They can't use reactions. On their turn, they get either an action or a bonus action.
Yep.
Not both.
I remember
Okay.
that.
Yes.
Okay,
So do
good.
I.
Good to know. Anything else, Rax?
Yeah, why not? I will spend a sorcery point to quicken Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
And I will poof at the two guys harassing her.
At the two guys harassing her. Okay, go ahead. You may make your attack rolls with advantage
Ooh.
Because- of their martial fury ability. They got the extra attack.
I
for
rolled
hitting,
the
so-
exact same thing on that one. 11 for the first beam.
11, unfortunately, bounces off their chain armor.
That's better. Let's see. I'll. This is 16, so maths works somehow.
What was it? Was it a natural 16?
Yeah, 23.
Yeah, 23. Yeah, definitely hits. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, go ahead and roll force damage on one of those.
7.
7. Cool. 7 damage. Anything else?
No, that's it.
So this crackling shadow energy hits them both. One bounces off. One sort of just goes straight through and dissipates just behind it. It looks at you with rage and blood in its eyes. Behind you, you can hear more shots from up above from skeletal archers, and the spectres just tearing into the into your allies who are desperately trying to hold the tide back. Esther, you're up. Drake, you're on deck.
Boom. Are they? So you said they were 80 feet from where we are at the door?
Yes.
Okay. Then I would like to run forwards 30 feet, which is as far as I can go, and cast spiritual weapon.
Yes.
My scythe.
Yep.
That's at 3rd level because I ran out of 2nd level spell slots.
What is the range of spiritual weapon, please?
60 feet.
Yep, that's fine.
So that should be fine. Which I think gives me an extra 1d8 if I do it 3rd level. If I hit.
I will
Does it say on the thing?
It's the wording is ambiguous.
I will double check.
Well, say for each level above 2nd.
When you cast this
Yeah.
spell using a 3rd level slot or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for every 2 spell slots above 2nd.
So I'm
Okay,
not
so
sure
no.
if that means
So
3rd or
for-
4th. Is
No,
the...
so you'd have to do 4th level to
Yeah,
be
to
able
get
to
it.
do
Alright,
2
so
damage.
it's the same as a
Yeah.
2nd level then.
Yes.
Thank you guys. So roll to hit. That's 12.
12, unfortunately. He looks up, have it just waving away with the tendrily masses around him, waving away Rags' slow ability, and just noticing up above the scythe, up above his head, and he moves to the side and just manages to dodge out of the way. It doesn't hit him, unfortunately.
Okay. That's a bonus action to cast. I would like to use my action to dash.
I believe it's...
It is
Does-
a
Is
bonus.
it an action on the first, or is it...
It says casting time
Yeah,
one
it just
bonus
says one
action.
bonus.
Yeah, because I know it's a bonus action, so never
Yes,
mind.
it's
Okay,
a bonus action to use it as well afterwards.
yes, that's correct. Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, you get your action. Go for it.
Cool. I would just like to dash forwards. So I'm currently 50 feet away, right?
Yes.
Just 30 feet.
Okay, you're kind of sort of coming up almost behind Herb at this point, I would say.
Right. So
Um,
I'm currently 20 feet now away because I've done 30 feet twice.
Yes. In fact, actually no, 30 feet you'd overtake Herb. You'd be in sort of because the king and his guards are about 20 feet away from the throne, so you'd actually be able to get up there with them.
I don't want to get within melee range of them.
Okay,
I want to get to like within about 20 feet of them.
sure. Okay, yep, good to know.
That's a smart choice.
Okay, anything else, Esther?
No.
Okay, right, Drake, you're up. Yona, you're on deck.
This is from my granddad's concert tickets. So I'll shoot him for a 22. The big boss.
The king.
Yeah.
Yeah, 22, that hits.
Cool. So he takes 11 damage, and then I'm going to explode it.
That seems fair.
So he takes 7 force damage. 15 for the next one.
15, that hits.
Sweet. He then takes another 11 damage. I'm going to action surge.
Yep. You notice that your arrows again are flying
Yeah, I
straight
think,
through him.
27.
27 hits.
Um,
Fighters.
and that's 6 damage.
6 damage.
I'm going to explode that one as well.
Because,
Fuck him.
yep.
That's both of them done, but that's another 8 force damage.
Another
I know
8
that
force
my
damage.
force damage needs to do something against these guys. And 27 again.
27, that hits.
And another 7 damage.
7 damage.
Woo!
Okay.
And I'm only 25 feet in, hiding behind my wave of really nice
Yeah,
handicars.
that's fair. So you watch as Drake just pulling arrows incredibly fast from out of his quiver, flying through the king, and just like watching the arrowheads explode inside him. The king screams out, and he turns towards you, seeing where it's coming from. Get him!
Come on then, big.
So, as the king finishes screaming that, Yona, you're up. Herb, you're on deck.
How far away is he from me?
You moved about 30 foot forward to begin with. So he's about 20 feet away from you, I'd say.
Okay, cool. I would like to rage.
Okay, you let out a roar that echoes throughout that everyone sort of like turns momentarily to hear, and you again your nameless as of the moment ancestor appears behind you, and again you just sort of feel that familiar hand on your shoulder. Go, I am with you.
Yes. Cool. I'm gonna run straight up to the king.
Okay. As a note, the guards are still kind of in front of him, so one of them would get a swipe at you if you were trying to swerve
And
around
there's
them.
not enough space to go like clear them.
Not with the phalanx that's the phalanx of spectres.
That's
holding
cool.
you
In
back.
that case, what I'll do is I'll hit one of the guards first. I'll go up to one of the guards.
Okay.
Any
I
of
don't
them
want
that
him to
were
hit
in
me.
10 feet of him obviously take force explodey damage.
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna whack him with my maul.
Go ahead. You have advantage
Yes.
because of their
Ow.
martial fury.
Yes. 21.
21. One turns slowly and your maul whacks him across the face. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah. 16.
16. Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah, it did. And now he's got my ancestor
Yes, and now
all
it's
up in his grill.
yes, he does indeed. You have a second attack if you wish to use it.
I will.
Go ahead.
Ugh. Much better. 17.
17 hits. Again, it's
No.
slow. It can't. Ah,
Every time.
dice don't roll on the floor.
13.
13.
Wow, wow.
Dang it, what?
Ah! Boom, boom! Yona charges forward, swinging her giant hammer, going straight through this this slowed down Wraith's form. It's desperately trying to hold you off, but it's not come across a warrior like you before. Right.
Herpem!
Nope. King time. So, as all of you look as you see these boom boom, these bursts of energy occurring within the king, and as he screams at you, the screams that he's letting out get louder and louder, reverberating all around the hall. I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Wisdom. Is it against being frightened?
No, it is not.
Boo.
Cocked. That's cocked,
Sorry,
right?
I've not done very well on wisdom saves at all today.
Nor have I, and it's not changed.
As now.
A single
9.
good roll.
So
9.
we're coming up rags.
Sorry.
I don't wanna come
Saving
up
throw.
rags.
Yes.
14.
14.
Yes.
Modded 20.
Modded 20.
17.
Modded 1.
So, the halflings.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
We are in trouble.
So, the halflings take 12 points of psychic damage. The rest of you take 6 points of psychic damage. And both of the halflings are stunned.
Oh, shit.
no.
As this cacophonous roar echoes throughout your head, and you just your eyes glaze over, and you can't do anything. All you can hear is ringing and sound and echoes.
I'm now looking what some might call blow-dyed.
Me also.
So, Herb,
Bloodied.
It's stunned.
you're stunned.
What does
You
that
can't do anything.
Until the end of your turn.
It's the and at the end of your turn, you're able to. You just spend the moment. But it takes you a few seconds to shake it off, and people have moved about by the time you've been able to do it. Unfortunately,
Can't believe
that
the
is
call
all
of these
you can
customer
do.
services.
I know.
It's
I've been on
outrageous.
hold for hours.
Indeed. So it's now the Wraith's turn, the bodyguards. They're going to go for you, Yona. Because otherwise, bad things. So, but they are slowed. So, that's 14 versus AC. It just, you see it raise its sword, but you can move out of the way far too quickly for it. The other one, that's a 16 versus AC. This one, it just cuts you across the side. Can't quite get out of the way in time. That's 8 points of slashing damage.
Oh, sorry, no, ignore me. I was about to correct something that you didn't even say. It's the whole slow thing. Of
You're damn right.
Yeah, no?
So you take 8 points of slashing damage, half to 4, because you're raging.
Mhm.
That was a little love tap. What the hell was that? So, that's their turn. It is now Rags' turn.
Gosh.
Am I on deck?
Yes, you will be.
Came around.
Hey, you've woken up. I haven't.
Yeah. Right.
Miss
Uh,
Malta.
Just gonna try something.
A little bit crazy.
Yeah, it might not be particularly great, but I'm gonna cast Chill Touch on the king.
Okay.
With the assumption that he is undead.
Okay. What does it remind me? What
Well, if he's Chill Touch it's a necrotic spell, but
Yeah.
it stops him being able to regain hit points to the start of my next turn, and if it's undead, it then has disadvantage on all attack rolls on me till the start of my next turn.
Okay, good to know. Make your attack roll.
Ooh, yes. 22.
22 hits.
What is the damage? 2d8. And that is 13 points of necrotic damage.
13 points of necrotic damage. So you watch as Rags raises his hand, and then, with a flick of his fingers, a spectral version of his robed, wrapped, bandaged hand flies out and just claws at the king. Goes straight through him. Doesn't seem to have any effect.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No. What is dead may never die.
Mm.
Anything else, Rags?
No, thank you.
Okay. But he does have disadvantage on his next attack against you if he does so. Swan is desperately trying to, and Lamasia are desperately trying to hold back this tide of spectres, just sort of forming as best a shield wall as they can, just trying to hold them back like a pack of rabid dogs. Given the king's orders, some of the skeleton archers, however, are going to shoot at you.
What?
Right.
No way.
Roll.
With advantage, because you're stunned.
What?
But that's only a 12.
9.
That's a 23.
9?
That's a 22.
No!
That's a 15.
15 does not.
Okay, so you take
Is this the end of Dickensian?
you take 10 points of piercing damage as 2 arrows embed themselves. You just take a couple of steps back.
But I am a pincushion.
You are a pincushion. Esther, you're up.
Yush, very well. How bad are you looking?
Like, if I had to put it on a scale between 1 and 39.
No! I refuse to put up with that bullshit.
I'm about half as bad as I looked a second. No, I'm like twice as bad as I looked when I just got bloodied.
He looks bad. He's bleeding
Yeah.
and...
I was bloodied and I looked twice as bad as when that just happened. So.
Okay. Well, first thing, I use my bonus to make my spiritual weapon attack whichever of them is looking worse. Maybe try and take out one of the guards.
Are you attacking one of the guards or the king?
How do they all look?
It's hard to judge. They're
They
all
are
spectral
Spectral.
individuals.
Which one's Yona been attacking?
Yona's been attacking one of the guards.
Yona's been attacking one of the guards.
Yeah.
I'm going to pile into that one.
Okay, you move your spiritual weapon away, and the scythe comes at it from above. Make your attack roll.
Very well.
No.
Please don't be shit. Fuck you! Fuck you! I mean, that was unfortunate. That is a 1.
It was a 1.
Oh, Yona.
So, go ahead and roll damage, please.
Come
for me.
on.
Yeah,
fuck
that's
you.
Velma. That's what that is.
It comes from a place of love.
We do so much friendly fire in these 3 episodes.
So much friendly fire, and we often roll very high on dice, which is not something exclusive to me at all. We've seen it several times.
What did
It's
you
a
roll?
7.
You take 7 points of piercing damage as this scythe just embeds itself into your
Still
shoulder.
halved because
Rage.
Sorry?
Lavrage.
Yes,
Yeah.
raging.
Yeah.
Half to 4.
Half to 4, yes. Just and you just look behind at Esther, who's trying to hold up, concentrating on the spiritual weapon, trying to hold it up.
No, please.
You still have an action, Esther?
Yes, I do. I would like to cast Bane on the 3 of them. So they need to make charisma saving throws.
Charisma saving throws.
Against 14.
No. So one of the guards succeeds. The king and the other guard fail.
Alright, so on all attacks they have to roll a d4 and subtract.
Okay, good to know. So that's the end of your turn. Drake, you spend the turn being a pincushion.
And saving
Ow.
throws, sorry.
And saving throws, good
Yeah.
to know.
I lose all my actions, do I?
Yep.
Cool.
When you're stunned. So Yona, you're up. Herb, you're on deck. As you
Fuck, how-
manage to... Yeah, and it's like, where did the arrows come from? Yona, what are you doing?
I'm going to attack the same person that's...
Okay, go ahead.
Sweet.
You no longer have advantage.
Oh, that's alright. The first one was an 18.
18.
Natural 18.
Yeah, that hits. Yep.
Boom. 11.
11 points of damage.
And
He's
again!
he's struggling to keep it together.
Cool. 19.
19 hits.
13.
13. Okay. So. Hang on. Yep, no. This one bodyguard, the sword and shield bodyguard, still slowing, still trying to. He's sort of in slow motion, raising his sword towards you. And his form dissipates into nothingness and just falls over, gone, vanished.
Bye.
Bye.
I've still got movement if you
So,
want.
yes, you do
Yeah.
still have movement.
I'm going to get myself close to the king.
Okay, that's easy enough to do. No, he's still slowed, so he can't take a reaction. He goes, the other guard sees you going, and tries to raise his sword, but yeah, pretty much. Okay, it is now the king's turn.
Let me out.
Nope. So, he sees you coming, and he just takes a tendril hand wrapped in bandages, almost similar to rags, but just so many more, and just flying out, and just reaches out a hand, going, "Impudent wretches, I am king!" and reaches out. That's
Doesn't seem good for you.
Minus d4.
Yep, I know. That's 16 versus AC.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So, he reaches out and you try to dodge out of the way, but his hand sort of grasps at your throat.
It was nice knowing you.
yeah. It's been fun.
We had a good laugh.
You take 19 points of psychic damage. As
Bye.
Is that still hard because I'm
nope,
right?
you're not.
Psychic,
no, it's
yeah.
psychic. It's not
Psychic.
physical.
Oh, right, sure, okay.
Like, and you
19.
Just, 19, and you just hear Yona let out a sudden scream of pain as this creature almost seems to be grappling her by the throat. It's not actually grappling; it's just got its hand around your throat. Going, "Fear me, fear all that I am king."
Well, that's not a good sound.
I do fear him.
Herb,
You
you're
know what?
up.
I think that's fair.
It's fear enough.
Herb would like to go crazy on this other but guard guy
Go ahead.
with a staff.
Yep.
20.
20 hits.
Bam. 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay.
Another one with the staff.
Yep.
14 damage.
14.
14 attack, sorry.
Sorry.
14 attack.
14 does hit thanks to the
Oh,
slow.
of course.
Doesn't
So
quite
12
shield the whole
damage.
time. 12 damage. He's just looking down at this tiny little halfling going, "What the fuck?" and trying desperately to move, but he just can't. He's stuck in jelly.
I'm
Like a bad children's birthday party.
The worst kind of
Yes.
birthday party.
Call back.
I spend a key point to do 2 unarmed attacks.
Go ahead with your flurry of blows.
Can I spend another one to make one of them a stunning strike?
Yes.
Great. Can I do that after I know if it hits, or do I have to do that before?
I think it is after it hits because you can't
Yeah.
stay strike unless they.
24.
24 hits.
I'd like to make a stunning strike, please.
Okay.
So I guess make a con save against.
Your
No, that's a 5. He fails.
So he is
They
stunned
not
until the end
needed
of his next turn,
Yeah.
and takes.
Ugh.
That's the wrong one. It's a D4. It takes 8 damage.
8 damage.
And you've got
You
advantage
have
against
you have
him.
one more attack. This one is with advantage because he is stunned.
That is 26.
26 hits.
Damn. That's 7 damage.
7 damage. His form it's interesting, like all these other undead creatures you've encountered have not been reacting this way, but this one, you strike it in the solar plexus and this time, ugh!
Can I cuff it round the ear in annoyance?
Yes, you can. It's hard, it's looking hard for him to keep his form together, but he's almost there. Anything else?
No, just a...
Yep, that's a free action. Rags, you're up, and Esther, you're on deck.
Okay. So the one that Herb is fighting is looking like it's
He's
kind of...
looking almost around, and the king is there with his arm around, his hand around you on his throat.
Okay. Alright. I drop concentration on the slow.
Okay.
Because yeah.
Yep, that's
I
fine.
have reasons.
Of course, yep, no.
I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb at a 3rd level.
At
the king.
the king. Okay.
Acid.
Acid, yep.
So... I don't know why I'm looking at my spell for that. I don't know if that's cocked or not. I don't think so, but there's someone
It's the same one that you ruled it wasn't. It's basically
No,
the
it's
same.
it's a different place. It's this D20, yeah.
That's not cocked, that's fine.
Okay.
same
In
one.
that case, 21.
21 hits.
Wonderful.
Roll your
5d8.
5d8, yeah.
Wow.
That's what I
You
drew.
watch as the diamond comes out again, spinning in his hand, coalescing more acidic energy. Floor dice.
Floor dice.
Slice.
Slice.
Oh, come on. That is terrible. 10, 15.
15.
Did more damage earlier.
The orb just flies straight through him, narrowly avoiding Yona. It does do a little bit, but he's not a corporeal being. Acid has a less of an effect on him, sadly. Anything else?
Nope.
Esther, you're up.
I would like to run in. Is Drake in melee with anyone?
No, I'm hiding behind our man, as is my one.
You're hiding behind your man.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't
Yona is in melee with the king,
Good looking
and thingy Herb is in melee with
The
the guard.
Alright. I would like to, for my bonus, move my spiritual weapon over to the remaining guard
Okay,
and take a slash at him.
make an attack roll with advantage because he is stunned.
Avantage, as they
As the
say.
French say.
Absolutely nowhere.
Right here.
Well,
Only on MaudeWorld.
Only on MaudeWorld. Come
That's a
back
MaudeWorld
for more
exclusive.
nonsense words. Plus my spell attack bonus, right? So that's 20 to hit.
20 hits.
Very well.
Roll your 1d8 damage.
1d8 damage. 6.
6.
Wunderbar.
Yep.
And as
So you watch as just the scythe, as he's looking down, trying to reach forward, and then the scythe just goes straight through his head, and down and down and down, and bisects him.
he got reaped.
Nice.
Yeah, he did get reaped.
Nice.
You still have an
nice.
action.
Alright, so as a spiritual weapon flies one way, I'm going to be dashing the other way and run to Drake and just go dunk and do a cure wounds.
Cure wounds. Roll
on
your cure
him.
wounds.
Dun, which is going to be maximum. So that's 12, 13.
13.
13.
I'm no longer bloody.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Tar very much.
So, and Esther, anything else?
I would like to skip back a few paces so that I'm maybe 20 feet away from the nearest baddie.
Okay,
Which
I
is
mean
only-
that's difficult because the spectres are closing in, but
From the king person.
yes, you can do that. So, at this point, as the spectres are just like clawing, moving forward, the archers shooting down from above, threatening to overwhelm the phalanx. You just hear Swan call out, "If you're gonna do something, do it now!" Drake, you're up. Yona, you're on deck.
What the fuck have you think I've been doing till now? I blew my load in the first round.
Title of your sex tape.
I'm gonna shoot him. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Kill him, boy!
29.
29 hits.
8 damage.
8 damage.
16.
16 does hit.
6 damage.
6 damage.
And then for a free action, I just want to give him the finger.
Yep, that's fine. He's like,
Wanker!
No! How dare you! Yona, you're up.
Okay. Right. What can I justifiably do when he's holding onto my throat?
So he's
right
not.
now?
He's like his hand is at your throat, but he's not. There's no force behind it.
Okay, cool. So I can attack him with
Yeah.
one more. Cool. I will do that then. That is a 21.
21. Roll damage.
No!
Every time.
Every time.
What's the second
Too
one?
vigorous.
Title of your sex day.
11.
11 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you swing your maul into the king, into this creature who has held you by the throat, who has caused you such pain and is the cause of all of this madness and pain, take your victory.
Oh. Okay, so I basically want, because obviously I'm being held by the neck, I can't see what I'm doing. I just wanted to get as much as my kind of body into it and just give it a full through the middle. Swipe.
Okay. So you take your maul. As you're leaning back instinctively against this tendrily mass of blackness and evil, you take your maul and you, with a cry to rival his own, you just swing the maul. It goes straight through him, and the hole is there, and it doesn't reseal itself. He looks down. No, you cannot! You cannot do this! And with a swirl of whirlwind-like black energy, no! And it builds to a piercing, incredibly high-frequency scream, and with an enormous explosion. Every single one of you are thrown back, flown down to the floor as this wave of screaming necrotic energy flows out throughout the halls of the throne room and the castle. The spectres that are desperately clawing are thrown back. They scream and are blasted back through the walls. Your allies fall to the floor. Every one of you falls down. Ting, 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 ting. Yona, you see this beautiful dodecahedron-sized diamond that you pick up, and you just hear a voice in your ear that says, "Well done." Slowly you all come to your feet. Lamasi turns around and goes, "Did we do it?"
I think so.
Yona, did you get the gem?
Yeah?
Then let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Let's
You
go.
all- So,
They played that last song at the concert, that's why I wanted my money back. I was screaming. There weren't even any real lyrics in it.
so, for the sake of brevity, you make your way back out through the courtyard, back out through the gate, towards the pedestal. Lamasi just stops with all of his stuff, stops at the gate, turns to Suan and the rest of them and goes, "Goodbye, my friends. I will never forget you. Thank you." Suan just nods, goes, "Go. You're keeping me awake." Lamasi nods. "Thank you." Runs out towards you guys. You place your hands on the pedestal. You feel that familiar sensation before, except this time instead of being pulled up, you are being pulled down. You see those images and hear those sounds once again. Yona with the gem still in your hands. You come back down. You find yourself in the same clearing. You see not mist at the edge, but trees once again. The sun has moved across the sky. Seems to be still the same day you left. You take the gem, Yona, and place it in the socket in the pedestal. There is a sudden bright flash of light, and you almost feel that you will hear a long sigh of final relief. The gem rolls out of the socket, and the pedestal crumbles.
I'll fight you for it.
The pedestal crumbles to dust. Again, for the sake of brevity, you make your way back along the path, of course, of several hours, back to where you first met. this morning at the crossroads. The sun, whereas once it was in the eastern sky, is now dipping beneath the western horizon. And as you emerge from the forest, you can vaguely make out 3 figures in the distance, one of whom is running forward as best he can with the aid of his cane. Lumasi takes a moment, his eyes go wide, and he runs forward as well. And the two meet. The two meet, and the two embrace.
It's like
Like
we're in
old
this
friends.
cornfield, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's like we were in this meadow or this cornfield.
Well, you're on the outskirts of a forest, and you just watch as Adris is, any sense of like defensiveness or crotchetiness is gone. There are tears streaming down his face, and he just, you can, as you walk up to him, you can just hear him saying, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I should never have been." He goes, "It's okay, Adris, I promise. It's fine. Look at this." And he shows him the book. Gods above. He turns to look at all of you. You did it. Gods be praised, you did it.
I take out the gem and I flick it over to him.
Here's looking
And
at
I got
you,
the
kid.
bonus too.
Sorry is not a bag of bones. Or not sorry, I guess.
It can be
My
arranged.
friend, you don't have to be sorry about that at all. Come. Drinks are most definitely on me.
Excellent.
And
Body shots.
you all... Of all the people I was expecting that from, it wasn't you. So,
Should we all just
you
turn
all,
to you like...
you all turn...
No?
You all...
I'm not saying no, it's just from you, really.
You all head down the hill into the village for a well-deserved drink. And that is where we will end our pilot adventure. Excellent, so that's it. That is MaudeWorld. That is our pilot. Keep on the lookout here for well, let's all say it, guys. On the lookout for more MaudeWorld.
The world.
We're gonna force that joke if it kills us.
It probably
Title of
will.
your sex.
Damn it. Okay. Yes, please keep a lookout on social media and everything here. At this stage, there are probably a few days left in our crowdfund, so please give generously if you enjoyed, because more MaudeWorld will be coming, but even better, funds allowing.
With less technical difficulties than you will have seen.
Yeah, you
need
might
the
see some of
equipment.
that stuff.
What
We
technical
had
difficulties?
Seamless.
Wink. So, thank you all very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. We cannot wait to share even more with you.
Thank you.
Bye!
Bye.
Five.
Well, that's just maddeningly unhelpful.
That's not even going to be in the show.
Put it in at the end, more.
Add it.
Put it in at the end.
Who do you think's editing?
Super cut of all of the fingers.
Herb would like to give Annie Murray the finger.